Kalispell area school students forced to stay home again today because of an ongoing investigation into threats made to the school. Work begins on getting the damaged Sperry Chalet ready for winter. And a California man accused of killing a Broadwater County Sheriff's deputy has his charges amended.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Don Fisher. Most schools across the Flathead Valley were closed for the second day in a row as the investigation into a series of threats to the area schools continue. Authorities are working to identify the person or people behind them, and Flathead County Sheriff Chuck Curry says they have been working around the clock to identify who is behind these threats, but he says they are making progress. They are continuing to do interviews today with persons of interest and are following every avenue that has been presented to them so far. Specifics on what the nature of these threats are have not yet been released, but Curry says that is for investigative purposes. Local law enforcement continues to work closely with the FBI in conducting profiling as well as using computer forensics for the aid of the investigation. School cancellations have not only affected work in the classroom, but all school-related activities today and throughout the weekend. MTN's Jack Ginsburg spoke with local law enforcement, school officials, and a parent about the rare situation that they're in.
The whole thing stinks. You know, it's really sad that, you know, Whitefish had to cancel everything, and you know, not much more you can say, but it is what it is, and I think it's the prudent thing to do at this point.
One of the many school closures, and probably one of the biggest, is here at Whitefish High School, which was supposed to have their homecoming celebrations today. The parade, the football game, and the dance have all been canceled.
Another highly anticipated event was delayed as well today. The first game at the newly renovated Legends Stadium in Kalispell, where both Glacier and Flathead High play their games. When speaking to one Whitefish parent who has 2 kids in school, he said it was something he has never had to deal with, but has been pleased with how the school and law enforcement are handling the situation.
I feel like the schools have done a great job of getting the word out there. Law enforcement's doing what it can to get the word out there, but it's a scary time right now, and I feel for our kids and everyone in our community.
Powers says his kids saw yesterday as just another day off from school until today, when he and his wife felt the need to explain what was really happening.
You know, we just needed to be very transparent with them and tell them everything that we knew, and field questions and remain calm, and just speak to them about that these things do happen, and how to proceed and what to do, and try to make them feel as comfortable as they can in a very uncomfortable situation.
Although this is a rare occurrence, and there have been many school-related cancellations, Sheriff Curry says it should not stop people from going about their normal lives.
We've developed no information at all that would indicate there is any sort of specific threat to public safety, to group gatherings, to anything to impede people in just going about their daily lives. If we do, we'll certainly make that public and warn the public right away. But to this point, we found nothing of that nature at all.
In the Flathead Valley, Jack Ginsburg, MTN News.
And another result of these threats is that a hearing involving the Montana Artesian Water Company is now forced to move. It was originally supposed to be held at the Flathead Valley Community College, but will now be moved to the Fairbridge Inn Suites in Kalispell. It will begin at 9 a.m. next Tuesday morning and continue for 2 to 3 days. So what's next for students and parents going into next week? Well, no decision has been made in regards to Monday, but Kalispell Public Schools say they will contact parents and students no later than 6 p.m. on Sunday with an update. There are new road closures in Glacier National Park due to fire and ice. The west side of the Going to the Sun Road between Apgar and Big Bend is now closed due to the Sprague fire, while the Going to the Sun Road is currently closed between Big Bend and Shlia Bend due to the winter driving conditions. And now Erin Yost joins us with her first forecast. Erin?
Variable driving conditions today, especially across the higher terrain in western Montana. Now, although a lot of this moisture is missing out on us in extreme northwest Montana, some of us a little closer to the divide and obviously further south have seen a pretty nice amount of rainfall. Officially nothing at the Kalispell Airport, though. We did get on the cooler temperatures, 56 for that high today. That's 14 degrees below average. Well to the south and southeast of us, winter storm warnings continue until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Above above 6,000 feet. But as we clear out even further behind this now exiting system, we will see not only those cooler temperatures in place, but those two combined make for very cold temperatures. So freeze warnings have been issued for the Kootenai Cabinet. I've got more details coming up in your forecast.
All right, thank you, Aaron. U.S. Secretary of Interior Ryan Zinke says stabilization work on the Sperry Chalet dormitory has begun to prepare for winter, and rebuilding the chalet is one of his top priorities. On August 31st, the building burned when the Sprague fire significantly expanded and surrounded the Sperry complex. While most of the buildings in the Sperry Chalet, including the dining room, trails, and utility cabin, weathered the extreme fire behavior well, the dormitory building suffered extensive damage. Zinke says the purpose of the stabilization work is to protect the walls and chimneys from excessive snow and weather damage. And this all throughout the winter. Next spring and summer, the park will conduct additional structural analysis and a review of the site area to help inform decisions about the future of the chalet complex. And with the end of fire season fast approaching, our Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue said the wildfires of 2017 will be the most expensive ever and that Congress needs to address the issue. At the end of the fiscal year, nationwide wildfire costs have exceeded $2 billion. According to a news release, approximately 2.2 million acres of National Forest System lands have burned, and it's taken more than 27,000 people to fight those fires. The Department of Agriculture says firefighting suppression costs make 55% or more of the U.S. service fire budget. Perdue said that means that the money to fight fires is perpetually borrowed from forest management and fire prevention, keeping necessary preventative work from being done. Friday afternoon, MTN and the Montana Community Foundation learned the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation has offered to help with MTN wildfire relief. Owner of the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Blank, and the Mountain Sky Guest Ranch near Livingston announced a $50,000 match to the Montana Wildfire Relief Fund. That match starts immediately and applies to any donations received from now into the future. The Guest Ranch says although none of the fires personally threatened the ranch itself, they saw what was happening and wanted to help fellow Montanans.
I think this is a great way to, listen to the needs in the community that are timely and critical, and we also really value partnerships and collaboration, and so this is a perfect opportunity to be partnering with the Montana Community Foundation and the Montana Television Network. We're very honored to be part of it.
And after only 1 week, our Montana Wildfire Fund now sits at almost $70,000 and counting. Thank you to everyone who's contributed so far, and remember, our MTN stations will match the first $50,000 of that total. If you haven't donated, it's not too late. Just go to kaj18.com/wildfirefund for more information. Switching to crime news, new developments tonight in a case against a Florida man accused of gunning down Broadwater County Sheriff's deputy and firing at several others. The state has filed amended charges against Lloyd Barris. Barris now faces a total of 5 charges, including murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. He originally faced 16 charges, which included 14 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of accountability for attempted murder. Early on the morning of May 16th, Deputy Mason Moore attempted to pull Barris and his son Marshall over on Highway 287 south of Three Forks. Prosecutors say Moore was shot, which led to a multi-jurisdictional police chase covering nearly 150 miles before ending in a shootout east of Missoula, in which Marshall Barris, the son, was fatally wounded. Barris has pled not guilty to all charges, and prosecutors have previously said that they plan to seek the death penalty for this crime.
Salute to Service is brought to you by Flathead Electric Cooperative, your not-for-profit member-owned co-op.
The volunteers with the Marion Fire Department have been busy providing assistance to Lincoln County for these fires and have also been available day or night for assistance when they come in. But recently they've responded to a different kind of call, a call to help one of their own. MTN's Nicole Miller has the story.
Montana's rural fire departments answer many calls.
It's a challenge every day. We respond to structure fires, medical calls, even the wildland calls.
And sometimes calls to help one of their own.
Just like the military, we're all brothers in arms. We all wear the badge, whether it's law enforcement, fire, military. We all bound together to support our family.
Recently, fellow firefighter and EMT Shauna Floyd with the Marion Rural Fire Department suddenly lost her husband James to cancer.
Shauna and James are basically our family, so it's a challenge, and when somebody's down, we're all around them to pick them up and help them out.
The department has banded together to help support Shauna and her 2 children through a memorial cancer benefit.
We've got it all set up with the Canvas Church using their facilities. We have been working on getting more donations as far as the spaghetti and the funds. We have a pie auction going on as well, so we have a lot of people baking multiple pies, and we'll have a live auction every hour on the hour.
95% of people who work here in the Marion Fire Department are volunteer. They do this on top of their full-time jobs out of a desire to give back to their communities.
We're just a giant family, and we always strive to make sure everybody's important, and if someone's needing something, then we are all there to help them out.
Reporting from Marion, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
The Memorial Cancer Benefit for Shauna Floyd in memory James Floyd is coming up next week at Canvas Church on Friday the 22nd of September from 5 to 9 p.m. Coming up, Chief Meteorologist Erin Yost is predicting some cool downs for the weekend, and we'll see what she has in store in her forecast. And the latest on an attack ISIS has taken credit for that injured at least 30 in London today, coming up after the break.